Hey, what is good, ladies and gentlemen, niggas? It's your boy, MoonMonkey, coming at you with another episode of In the Lab, and today, we gonna go with my nigga, Yoshi, my day one nigga. I've been making this nigga since 64. Matter of fact, I've been making this nigga since Mario Party 1. So you know I got big love for my nigga Yoshi. So let's go with the default color Yoshi, and let's go with, let's go with Woolly World. So let's get into my dude, my baby, chameleon reptar, Yoshi, baby. Alright, so first things first, Yoshi is a pretty nimble character on the ground. He's not the fastest, but he definitely has quite a bit of speed to him. Matter of fact, just to put in relation to Mario, I'm gonna set Mario to control real quick. Let's set my nigga Mario to control. I'm gonna use my second controller, and we're gonna try to run at both the same time. And you're gonna notice that Yoshi starts to break away from Mario as they start to run. So yeah, Yoshi's a pretty quick character on the ground, so be mindful of that. Just in relationship to Mario, he's definitely slightly faster than Mario, so you will see him start to gain a little speed and a little distance from Mario. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much running as Yoshi stands in terms of speed compared to Mario. Now when it comes to jumping, I believe Yoshi will jump just as high as Mario, but I believe Yoshi's a little bit floaty. So as you can see, as Yoshi falls back to the ground, he's gonna definitely hit the ground a little later than Mario. As you can see, he definitely has a little bit of float to him, so he's a little bit floatier than Mario, a little bit faster than Mario, and I'm pretty sure Yoshi is definitely heavier than Mario. So there we go. But let's get into double jumps. I definitely think Yoshi will definitely surpass Mario when it comes to double jumping, because Yoshi's bread and butter of recovery will be his double jump, which also has super armor. So you definitely want to rely on that double jump if you definitely want to try to make it back to the stage as safely as possible. Be careful. Some moves will beat out Yoshi's super armor and will leave him without a jump. So you gotta be mindful of that. This super armor will definitely help against most attacks, but it isn't a fail-safe against everything. So keep that in mind. So Yoshi has a two-hit jab. You can initiate the first jab by pressing the A button once. So jab once for 3%. Or jab it twice, 1, 2, for a nice 4% for a together combined percent of 7%. You can also hold down your A button throughout the duration and do actually both jabs to them. So hold it down and you can actually do both jabs. So if you want to do that one jab, tap it once. If you want to do two jabs, jab, jab. Or you can just simply hold down your A button. And Yoshi will continuously just throw out those jabs. Yoshi's dash attack is really nice as well. I think it does a nice 9%. Yep, 9%. And one thing about Yoshi's dash attack, you definitely want to give yourself a running start, because Yoshi definitely lingers a little bit for his dash attack. And I think his percent might differ depending on where he hits on a dash attack. So I think at the edge of it, he's going to do 6%. Yup, 6% as you see the total damage. And if you hit him at the base of it, you're going to do 9%. So be mindful of where you're starting up Yoshi's dash attack, because if you start directly on top of Mario, you're going to go right behind him. So you don't want to do that. You definitely want to give yourself a little bit of running room. So be mindful of that when doing my nigga's dash attack. Really nice. Differs from anywhere from 6 to 9% once again. Alright, so let's get into Yoshi's tilt. My nigga's tilt is really nice. Nice 7% for his forward tilt. And like most other tilts, you're able to angle it upwards, downwards, or neutral. So you're able to poke at different people. So if they're coming back to the stage, you can definitely poke up that tilt. Really nice, 7%. Alright, wait for Mario to come back. Now Yoshi's down tilt is really nice as well. Able to throw out a nice, 4% at the tip, and I think 5% at the base. So you want to be mindful of that. The percent does differ depending on where you hit them. I think that's going to be the case for a lot of characters. Percent will differ depending on where you're hitting them, but down tilt, really nice edge guarding move. So you definitely want to throw it out. It's a nice rapid move too. You can just constantly just throw it out. Definitely good move for pressuring opponent's shield. Or if they're trying to roll around on the floor, you can definitely just throw out that tilt. Really nice move there. And last but not least, let's reset Mario's percent back to 0 real quick. Yoshi's up tilt, which is a really nice move because it hits behind him as well. It kind of arcs over his whole body. Really nice move for popping up your opponent. Also can lead into some other moves. But yeah, up tilt, really nice move for just setting up combos. I think it's more like a launcher just for starting up combos from aerials and shit. So you definitely want to be mindful of that. Nice 7% for his up tilt. Let's go into Yoshi's killing moves, that being his smash attack. So forward smash, really nice. If you just flick your C stick, it does a nice 15%. But let's see when actually his side smash begins killing. I believe, especially near the edge of the stage where I am right now, this move will definitely probably start killing around like 110%. So let's bump Mario up to 110. There we go. Yeah, 110 will definitely start killing. I want to see where it starts killing, like mid-middle stage. So mid-middle stage, let's see, 110 will kill. Nope. Alright, so let's wait for Mario to come back. Alright, right now he's at 125 just about, if you round it up a little bit. So 125, so middle stage right now, 125. Yup, that's definitely going to kill. So 125 around the middle of the stage. Definitely around like 110, 115 around this part of the stage. So you want to be mindful of where you're throwing out that side smash. Really good move, especially for reading out opponents. So has a considerable amount of range as well. I think you can stand one character's length away. Yup, Yoshi definitely will stick out his long nose and definitely smash a nigga's face in. So be mindful of that. Alright, so let's get into Yoshi's up smash. Up smash is definitely going to be one of Yoshi's better killing moves. Up smash definitely is going to kill around, I think, maybe 115, if not 110. Let's see, 115? Yeah, 115, but it looks like you could probably DI out of 115, so definitely 115, 120. 120 is definitely going to be an assured kill move. 115, it looks like you might want to DI out of it. Once again, guys, I'm just using Mario as a benchmarker. The percent killing range will differ from heavy characters to light characters, so what might kill Mario at 120 might take Bowser probably like 5 or 10 more percent just to kill, so you might want to be mindful of that. So up smash, definitely going to be one of Yoshi's better killing moves. And last but not least of Yoshi's smash attacks is Yoshi's down smash. Yoshi's down smash does a nice 12% back. I think it hits 12% front and back, but I think it also differs depending on where you hit him. So let's see. I think Yoshi's smash attack, let's see, at the tip of it. Hold on, so you can get him at the tip. I want to see if I can get him at the tip. I definitely think the tip, yeah, there we go. The tip of the tail is going to do 10%. So you definitely want to see if you can try to hit like at the middle of the tail, or at least the base of the tail. So you want to be mindful of that. So 12 in the front, 12 in the back, and it has a little bit of a delay. So you can definitely try to read out opponents with if they try to roll back on stage, try to hit them with both sides of the down smash. Really nice move, especially if your opponent likes to get up. So keep that in mind. Alright, so let's get into Yoshi's grabs. Now, Yoshi's grabs aren't really that good for killing opponents. They're definitely just good for setups. So forward throw, nice 7%. Really good for just setting up your opponent for like a forward air or something like that. Back throw, once again, it does 7%. Up throw, 5%. And down throw does 4%. Now, up throw and down throw will definitely be good moves for setting up for up aerials and neutral airs in general. So you definitely want to be careful of that. Up aerials and neutral air, so you definitely want to be mindful of that when using those moves. So yeah, I definitely think the best grab moves for killing, if it was anything, it would definitely be his forward throw or back throw. So let's see. Well, I want to see when these throws actually start killing. So let's bump Mario up. I know it's definitely not going to start killing at 120. So let's bump Mario up to like maybe like 150, 165. Let's see if that's going to start killing. 155, let's see. Nope, yeah, that's definitely not going to kill at all. So let's see. That was his forward throw. So let's see if his back throw will do him any good. So let's try to get behind Mario. Back throw. Yeah, so as you can see, Yoshi's killing moves it's definitely going to struggle for grabs. So yeah, up throw definitely not going to do anything. Down throw not going to do anything. And forward throw definitely not going to do it. Mario's almost well above, almost reaching 200. Matter of fact, let's try to get him to 200. Because I'm pretty sure... yeah, it definitely won't kill Mario anytime soon. So Yoshi's grab moves definitely are not good for killing opponents. So you definitely want to be mindful of that. Alright, so Yoshi, this nigga got some pretty nice aerials. His up air is really nice. So up air does nice 12%. Really good killing move. Let's see when this move starts killing. So let's bump Mario up to like that standard sweet spot of 120. I like to deer on 120 because that's when most moves kill. So let's bump Mario up to 120 real quick. And let's see if this up here is going to kill. There we go. Yeah, so 120 definitely looks going to start killing. I think Mario might be able to DI out of it, so I'm guessing like 125 will definitely be that killing percent. That will definitely wax Mario's ass. So 120, 125, definitely going to be a good killing percent. Yoshi's Dare is also a good move. Hold up. Let's actually reset Mario's percent all the way back down to 0. And matter of fact, instead of setting him to jump, I think I'm going to set Mario to... yeah, let's set Mario just to neutral so you can actually see how much percent this Dare does. Because this Dare does crazy amount of percent. So let's set him to stop. There we go. Yes, I did 17% there, but I think they're all down there can do as much as up to like 30. Yup, right there, 30%. Maybe sometimes even 32%. So this down here is definitely a good move for racking up percent and doing a lot of pressure. Now Yoshi's neutral air is really nice. Has a soft hit of 5% and a sweet spot of that move is going to do 10%. So really nice move for just like blocking out opponents. So really nice move there. You could definitely do a lot of poking with this move. Yoshi's back air is really nice move as well. Let me see if this move starts killing. So let's wait for Mario to come back real quick. take Mario up to that standard 120%. And I think I'm gonna set Mario to jump. So let's do that. Set Mario to jump, and then bump him all the way up to 120%. And I believe Yoshi's back here. It's a 3-part hitting move. So first initial hit, I think it will do. Let's see what that first initial hit. First initial hit. So first initial hit looks like it's doing 2%. Yeah, it looks like it racks up to 2, 3, and the last hit's gonna do 5. So keep that in mind. So the first initial hit's gonna do 2%, third hit's gonna do 30%, and that last final blow's gonna do 5%. And that last hit is definitely gonna be that killing move that you want. So I want to see when this back here starts killing. So right now Mario's at 140%, 147%. We'll definitely start killing there. So definitely off stage. You definitely want to start using your back here for off stage play. But yeah, back here is definitely going to be a good move for just killing your opponents. Definitely around this area, around 150%. I definitely think it'll kill around 130 as well around here. So yeah, there's Yoshi's back here. And last but not least of Yoshi's aerials is definitely going to be Yoshi's his fair. Yoshi's fair is a really nice move, has spiking properties, so if you're able to catch Mario at the tip of his nose, Mario will actually be spiked. So let's see if you can actually pull off the spike. There we go. So try to get it at the tip of the nose. It'll probably take some practice, but once you get it, you know you got it. But it's also a good way to just pressure opponents off stage. Like as you see there, it's a really nice way. You can definitely retreat doing it. Especially if you're using your C-stick, you can definitely back in and out using your fair. So keep that in mind. So yeah, Yoshi's aerials are really nice. I think his fair will definitely start killing at low percent off stage, but I think probably like around, let's see, 145. If you're not sweet spotting it for the spike, let's see. Well, around this percent, this will definitely start killing Mario. Around 155, around over here. Yeah, 155 was definitely going to be killing move for that fair, so be mindful of that. Alright, so let's get into Yoshi's specials. Alright, so Yoshi has quite the arsenal of special moves just to pressure around on the stage. So let's start off with Yoshi's neutral special, his egg lay. Really nice move. This egg lay puts your opponent incapacitated into a egg, which also has all the damage that he receives inside the egg. So as long as Mario's inside this egg, he's receiving half the amount of percent that he normally would if he was outside the egg. So be mindful of that. So you're not going to be able to just pressure Mario with all these smash attacks, expecting him to be like at 100 after like a couple of them. So you gotta be mindful of that. But keep in mind that the higher the percent is, the harder it's going to be to mash out of that egg. So you definitely want to try to rack up as much percent before you even thinking about trying to leave your opponent stuck in there. And also be mindful of that your opponent will pop out of the egg. So if you're able to read how and when your opponent pops out the egg, then you might be able to punish. But be careful, because some opponents, they might be attacking to like mash neutral air or forward air. So you might want to keep your distance, because they might just pop out throwing out an attack. So you got to be careful of that. You got to kind of be inside their head and expect the unexpected. If you're able to get inside your opponent's head once enough, you're able to just punish them, see when they come out. So let's see if we can try to punish this Mario. Nah, was not able to punish, but most likely in a battle sense that you might want to try to like wait for them to pop out. Once they pop out, follow the up air or forward air. That would be a nice kind of punish for that. Also, if they're near the edge of the stage, you could definitely do egg lay and try to just like drop them down to the abyss. So you can kind of stork egg lay them down to the abyss. So that's kind of cool. But you got to be mindful, your opponent will be able to mash out. So you kind of have to be one step ahead just in case they do mash out. Either be ready with a spike or neutral air just to punish them once again off stage. So that's pretty much Yoshi's egg lay in a nutshell. Half the damage when inside the egg, leave them stuck in one place, and they pop out, be able to either jump out normally or throw an attack. So be mindful of all of that shit right there, my niggas. Alright, moving on to his side special, his egg roll. Egg roll, really nice move, does 9%, depending on how fast you and how hard you're flicking your egg roll, you might be able to do more damage. So as you can see, I did 6% before, and this it varies from 6%, 8% to 9%. So anywhere from 6 to 9%, depending on how hard you're flicking your analog stick with egg roll. I sometimes have been able to beat out Sonic's spin dash with the egg roll, and other times if I'm not holding down like forward in the direction the egg roll is going, Sonic spin dash might just be able to just beat out Yoshi flat out. So gotta be mindful of that. Also, when you're in the air, your egg roll will pop up a little bit, so you're able to get just a little bit of air time. So if you're trying to approach back to the stage, and you know your opponent's waiting for like a down smash or up smash, throw out that egg roll just to stall in the air a little longer, just to pop up on them and continue rolling on. Also, be mindful that once you're in your egg roll, you are able to actually pop out and actually have you use your jumps. I know in Brawl, if you popped out, you had no jumps and you just fell to your abyss. So you are actually able to pop out and use your jump to come back this time in Smash 4. So that is a bit of a buff for Yoshi this time around. So be mindful. One thing about egg roll, you definitely do not want to use this move against characters that have a lot of projectiles, especially like a character like Samus, Wii Fit Trainer. You're pretty much just asking just to get like phase on blast, sun salutation to the face, because when you're in this egg roll, you are vulnerable. And once you pop out, Yoshi does that. He definitely has a little bit of like an end lag of like that little pop-out animation, like he's free and shit. So he's definitely hella open to get punished. So you gotta be careful of projectile users. Alright, so that was Yoshi's side B. Yoshi's down B is really nice. His egg bomb, not egg bomb, his what do you call it? Ground pound. Ground pound. Ground pound, definitely a good move. Definitely has a lot of killing power. Now the ground pound actually has a two-part startup. So initial impact will do 4%, and that final hit will do 15%, adding all up for 19%. So it's a two-hit combo if you're able to catch them. You're able to catch opponents on the ground. So if they're lying assed out on the floor, you might be able to catch them and pop them up. So you gotta be mindful of that, but you gotta be quick. Sometimes they might do get-up attack and won't be affected by it, but it's also a nice move. Also, he shoots out stars, which could be a really nice move for opponents that like to pressure in. So let's see how much damage the stars do. Ooh, accidentally hit Mario upside the head with it. So let's actually reset Mario's percent down to 0. And let's see, just want to be outside of Mario's range. There we go. Yeah, so it looks like the stars do 4%. Yeah, 4%. So be mindful of that. Stars really nice. If you're just doing a flat out egg bomb, you're gonna do 12%. Yoshi will do more damage if he's doing his Yoshi bomb on the ground, so you want to be careful of that. Also, since he's doing it in the ground, if he's doing it in air, Yoshi definitely will be vulnerable for certain characters like DDD's up air and shit like that. So you don't want to just continuously throw out this down B. But yeah, that's Yoshi's down air. And last but not least of Yoshi's special, the one move that is really good for pressuring opponents that are far, as well as opponents that are in the air, is Yoshi's up special, his egg throw. His egg throw has he gives Yoshi a lot of control because he's able to lob the egg in a lot of different angles and directions. So you want to try to mess around with it. The pressure of how you flick your analog stick will differ, especially if you're in the air or if you're on the ground. So if you're on the ground, the egg will definitely lob in a different way than if you're in the air. Definitely, if you're able to hold your analog stick directly downward, you're going to send your egg in the most horizontal way possible. If you flick your control stick backwards, you're going to actually send your egg as vertical as possible that Yoshi possibly can. Now, Yoshi's egg throw isn't as, I guess, free in like possibilities of angles that you're possibly able to get as it was, say, in Melee. But I think it's still pretty good, you know, able to punish a lot of opponents, especially if they punish from the air. They like to approach from the air. A character like Fox that likes to come down with his dare. Just throw out an egg, hit that nigga with an IHOP special, just give him all the eggs this nigga ever wanted in life. All the eggs this nigga wanted in life. So, eggs really good. What else about your eggs? Oh yeah, if you're in the air, you're granted 3 boosts in the air, so 1, 2, 3, and after that third hit, Yoshi's given no more momentum, and he just falls straight down. So let's see if I jump off the stage, after 1, 2, and that final jump, and after that, Yoshi will just continuously fall. So remember, you only have 3 boosts in the air, and I think that first initial egg throw, you're granted the most egg boosts, that second one, and then that third one, you're granted barely anything, and that fourth one, Yoshi's like, yo, you wasted all your shit, we done fucked up. So you gotta be careful how you're throwing out those egg throws. You gotta be mindful, count in your head, be mindful that only 3 of these you're granted to actually gain some boosts in the air. So, and you're actually able to change your direction. So if you go this direction, then change your direction, there's flicking opposite directions, you're able just to change around which way you're popping into. So be mindful of all that. So yeah, that is pretty much all of Yoshi's specials, neutral attacks, and pretty much attacks in general. Once again, guys, I'm gonna do another episode following this one, talking about the taxes you can do with Yoshi. So you might know some shit that I might not know. So feel free to comment down in the description below, telling me shit that you know about Yoshi, because I don't know everything about Yoshi. Even though this nigga is my main, I don't know everything about the nigga, and you might know some shit that I may never even thought about. So Feel free to educate me as well as everyone down that might be interested in Yoshi down in the description below. Alright niggas, until next time, like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. Dislike the video if it makes it feel better. And next time we'll be in the same exact place, do the same exact thing, and we gon' be in this shit, baby. We gon' be in this shit. Let's go, nigga. Let's go.